There is no sense in a simple denial that there is no Muslim genocide against Christians in the North. It all depends where you are and what you know. And sincerity is very important. Honesty is necessary. To start with, Nigeria is constituted by constitution expected to be a secular country. Although the Muslim imperialists resisted the inclusion of the word secular in Nigeria's constitution, yet as from 1979, the constitution has maintained prohibition of state religion, which amounts to state secularity, meaning that Nigeria shall have no religion, but the citizens are free to practice any religion. So the constitution guarantees freedom of religion and freedom of association, but prohibits state religion. But the Muslim imperialists have always resisted the constitutional stipulation of no state religion. There shall be no state religion, clearly stated in Section 9, in Section 10 of Nigeria's constitution dating back to 1979. But Shehu Shagari, who became Nigeria's president that year, 1979, to succeed the outgoing military rulers, being a Fulani Muslim imperialist, ignored the constitution and spent Nigeria's money to build the central mosque of Abuja. And when Christians protested, he gave them money to build a central church for themselves, now known as the Christian Ecumenical Center in Abuja. So, violation of Nigeria's constitution has been the order of the day based on the resistance of the Muslim imperialists. That is claiming that Islam cannot be practiced without hanging it on a country, forcing Nigeria to be funding pilgrimage boards and subsidizing pilgrimages, as witnessed under the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even when he declared subsidies on basic necessities of life gone. So that is the general narrative. And of course, in 2009, the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua abused his power to impose a jihadist war on Nigeria, declaring war on the Boko Haram Muslim community that was entitled to its life under Nigeria's constitution. That is by the way. Now to the issue of the moment, whether there is Muslim genocide against Christians in the North or not. I think to answer that question, you need to interview people in some states. What has been done to Benue State, Plateau State, and places like that? Can they, with the people, nor read Muslim genocide into it, because these are Christian states with Muslim presence. Yet, genocide is going on against the agrarian communities by herdsmen terrorists who are Muslims. Or you go to southern Kaduna since over the years and say, what do you say about Muslim genocide against Christians in the north? When you have heard from places like that, then you can conclude and say, there's no genocide against Christians in the north. That is the perception. But just to say it, there's religious peace. Where is it? The war against the Boko Haram Muslim community. Well, of course, where I want to go actually towards conclusion is that the Muslim genocide against Muslims is even worse in many instances than Muslim genocide against Christians. Yes, of course, many Benue and Plateau states, to give but two examples, many villages in Benue and Plateau states, many rural areas there have been sacked, divided, invaded, and set ablaze. Yes, by the herdsmen terrorists who are Muslims. So, places like that, Benue, Plateau State, not to talk of Southern Kaduna, also in the name of Christian-Muslim difference. But I'm concluding that Muslim genocide against Muslims in the north is worse than Muslim genocide against Christians. If you want to know, go to Borno State, go to Zamfara State, go to Katsina State, go to Sokoto State, and places like that. Come to Kwara North and South now. As I speak, they are mourning in Kogi State. Yes, in some instances you can talk of Christian Muslim, but these are mostly Muslim involved genocide cases. That cannot be, you cannot say they are just herdsmen, they are not Muslims, no? They are Fulanis are, for the most part, Muslims. Not all of them are Muslims. I've seen a Fulani who said he is an elder in his church. But that's a rare case to come by. Fulanis are known Muslims. Basically, they brought Islam here. So, for anybody to say there is no Muslim genocide against Christians is not talking sincerity, but deception. Trying to protect Islam on political grounds. Godswill Akpabio, of course, is the Senate president, a yes boy of Nigeria's president, who is a Muslim, and is a vice president, also a Muslim. So he can open his mouth and say there is no Muslim genocide against Christians in the north. Let the people involved, let them be interviewed first in the specific areas of contention. or even Christianity. Occasionally, I don't know of the latest, you will hear Christians going on rampage against adherents of African traditional religion, because these are religions raised from jihadist crusade war and jihadist war. They are warlike religions, they are militant, they are desperate for the faith. They are ready to die for the faith, not for love of God or neighbor, for the faith. So sincerity has disappeared. What is left is falsehood and faith, and commitment to faith, not commitment to God and humanity, but to faith and politics, money. Human life doesn't really matter. Otherwise, look at it. Since 2009 to 2025, killings. The other day, as reported, the Islamic state of West Africa, West African people, ISWAP, was said to have gone 2 a.m. to attack a military camp, and on getting there, open fire. So before the soldiers knew what was happening, things had gone bad. Now we are told that the army is fighting back. But this type of attack had been happening since over the years. And so Nigeria has lost too many men, too many military men, too many security personnel to the war. And the heartless Muslim and Christian rulers of Nigeria don't care. They don't want to seek for peace. They want to eradicate Boko Haram, even though they have not been able to do it since 2009 with all the cohesive forces of Nigeria, unable to eradicate the community. So just 1 or 2 days ago, if you continue to kill in the name of, and you are as corrupt as anything, impoverishing the people and expecting the people not to react, that's what you are doing.